Good morning. We will study this, our Chandogya Upanishad, but let me chant this Shanti mantra. You need not to repeat, it's a big mantra. I will do it. Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranaschakshushotramata balam indriyani cha sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarud Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam Mestu Atmani Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharmaste Mahi Santu Te Mahi Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may my limbs, speech, vital force, eyes, ears, also strength of all the organs become well developed. Everything is the Brahman. May I not deny Brahman. May not Brahman deny me. May neither Brahman nor me deny each other. May all the virtues mentioned in the Upanishad manifest in me, who am trying to sincerely realize Brahman. So this is the prayer, and the prayer is very clear. What is the subject and what is the object, what we are going to do. So it says that, that is called the Upanishad. The one gentleman, he was telling that I like to study Upanishad. I said, of course you can do, but before that, it is better to go some of the books. There you will understand what the Upanishad is going to tell you. Upanishad's teaching is very direct, and that is called the Siddhanta Grantha. It has taken the decision, so that teaches. And it teaches, of course, that every Upanishad, it takes the liberty to teach in their own way. The Rishi, he thinks that I will teach in this way. Now, the present day, different Swamis you hear, they are telling the same Upanishad, they are telling the same Vedanta or spiritual the discourses in their own way. They will be giving some example, they will be giving some ideas, but the same truth in this way it goes. So obviously, Chandogya Upanishad also we find that this different way they are giving the teaching. But this is a very good Upanishad. Why? Because Shankaracharya is not only giving the commentary, but quoting profusely from the Chandogya Upanishad to establish his idea of Vedanta. But if you read the Chandogya Upanishad, it will be difficult because most of the time talking about the Yajna, and it is not directly in a different way they will be telling. Now those who are regularly attending this class, you know, and I congratulate you today, even this bad weather, constant raining, and you could come over here. That shows your love for the Vedantic teaching, Vedantic knowledge, and love for the Vedanta Society of Chicago. We know that the great teacher, and he was thinking that his best student should be like him. So when the study was over, the graduation ceremony, he called all other students except the best one. And he left him like that. Even when his wife requested him, how come you are not inviting him and giving the honor? All others are there, but not he. But he is the best one. He didn't give any answer. He just left for a tour for a long days. And this boy, he didn't take that in a negative way, rather in a positive way. What we learn from here? That sometimes in our lives some problem comes, And we think, oh, these people do not like me, they are preferring them, not to me, so I am not getting this benefit. We should think exactly in opposite way as the Guru himself, Jabala Satyakam, and his best student, Upakoshala, they behaved. Satyakam's life also, same challenge came when he went to his Guru. Instead of asking him to stay with him and learn the philosophy, he asked him to take the cows for grazing. Satyakam took it in a very positive way and started meditating all alone in the wilderness, in the forest, and he promised that he will never come back till this cow herd become 1,000. They were 400s, from there to increase to 1,000. So obviously, it took 3 to 4 years for him, all alone, where he will eat, where he will sleep. Nothing was there. Guru never took any responsibility. But he very carefully was looking after the cow herd and constantly meditating. And his object of meditation was fire. Why the fire? It is light. Why the light? That gives the effulgence. And so he started meditating within him, seeing that light within. Look here, no criticism. Is taking that as a right spirit. The Guru has not asked me to do this, the Guru has not done this, nothing like that. So in our life, whenever the challenges come, and we think that, oh, this is a challenge, these people are not liking me, exactly we should take it in the opposite way. Oh, this is an opportunity. I have been left alone. I must try to do it. Ma Sharadamani Devi, she was all alone, only hardly 17, 18 years, young lady. She came to her husband, Swami Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Instead of giving her all comfort, Sri Ramakrishna went on asking her, cook for this, cook for that, and do this, do that, in a small little room that was allocated for her. And she, without any grudge, not that, most of our ladies, they are doing it, even today in the villages, not like that. She took it in a different way. This is my opportunity, I can be all alone. I am alone. And that is called, you are with your mind. And you can watch your mind, observe your mind, purify your mind, analyze your mind, and can strengthen your mind. That is the opportunity. When the people, they to ask her, you do so much of japa, but when you get the time? The mother's simple answer was, I put those rice, and then before they are cooking, becoming that cooking is going on, I go on taking the name of God. And then I'm dressing the vegetable, it takes time, I go on taking the name of God. So this is the utilization of time. And when I am going that continuously taking the name of God, without criticizing anyone, look at those people, they are so happy, they are doing this, they are doing that. No comparison. I am blessed that I have got this opportunity. This is the teaching we get from the life of Ma Sharada, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And same teaching we find in the Upanishad thousands of years before, and they were humiliated, apparently they were humiliated. But Upakoshala, he thought something wrong in me. That is why the Guru didn't give me this opportunity, didn't honor me with the graduation. So I should purify my mind. The Guru has already left. All the other students, they have left. The whole ashrama was empty. So what to do? He locked himself inside a room and started meditating, praying, and the practice of austerity. Again, the object was the fire. In those days, the fire was the only thing. By that, they used to get the light and the warmth. And also sometimes they used to cook food and sometimes giving the oblation to the god, offering to the gods. So this is the way it used to continue. And when Upakoshala started meditating slowly, exactly like his guru, these fires, they started giving him the advices. He could hear the fires are talking among themselves. There were 3 fires. And they were talking among themselves, oh, this boy is practicing so much of austerity. We should give him some Brahma-jnana. And Brahma-jnana is coming from the Guru. Who is the Guru? The effulgent one, the fire. It is not the ordinary fire that we see, but the spirit that is there behind the fire. They talked among themselves and started giving the advices. After that, after a long time, his guru came back, the Satyakama, and he said, Brahmavid eva somya te mukham bhati konutva anushasasa. Brahmavid eva somya, oh dear one, your face is glowing like an Noara Brahman. Brahmavid eva somya te mukham bhati. Those who realize the Brahman or God, their face shows that. That sometimes some very good-looking faces are there. It doesn't mean that they have realized the Brahman. The Brahman, that is only those who have realized Brahman, they can identify it. So we should not, again, misunderstand those who are very good-looking and apparently very calm-looking. Oh, they are Brahmajnani. No. We know the picture of a terrible terrorist. So his face was just like a great sage, long beard, beautiful eyes, but he was a machine of killing. So not that. So we should not misunderstand when we are reading Brahmavid eva somya te mukham bhati. Your face is showing that you have already realized Brahman. And he said, konutva anushasasa. Who has taught you? Who are your teachers? From whom you have learned it? Anushasana. Anushasana is teaching. He has taught you. Who has done it? Oh dear Upakoshala, your face beaming like a Noara Brahman. Who has taught you? Of course, we know that. We have already read that part. And he said, no one, no human being. But I heard from the fire. It is not the fire, it is his own mind. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in one of his teaching, he said, when you are going on practicing austerity, purity, calling on God, the time will come when your mind will become your guru. Your mind will become your guru. You need not to bother about that. Your own mind will tell, this you should do, this you should not do, this way you should do. So your mind will become the guru. And Ma Sharadamani Devi said, when you are going on practicing the austerity, purity, a time will come when you will never find any difference between a Brahmin and the lower caste. You will find the same glory, same God present in everything. And that is the ultimate. Those who go on telling, don't touch me, know that they are not even near the gate of religion. They have not entered even. Don't touch them. That means they have not gone anywhere near the religion. Religion means the knowledge of one. And that makes a whole mind full of love for everything that has been created by God. I love God. And my God has created everything. Shall I not love them? So this way, when he thinks, the Guru Satyakama wanted to know, Hearing that Upakoshala has learned from fires, he became very happy. Why? Because his mind has become pure. And purity, impurity, what is that? When there is a desire for the worldly objects, a very subtle desire of name, fame, appreciation, very, very subtle desire. Sometimes gross desires are there, and sometimes very subtle desires are there. And even the subtle desire, people, I am such a nice person, I am helping everyone, so people should appreciate me, they should remember me. When that is there, that means desire is there, the God is far away. In Hindi, they very nicely say, Jahan Kaam, tahan nahi Ram. Ram means the God. Jahan Ram, tahan nahi Kaam. We should not think, oh, Ramji, no, not like that. Ram means God. The God cannot be when your mind is full of desire, even a single desire. Again, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioned, if a thread is jutting out, it cannot pass through the eye of the needle. No. You have to make it straight. Then only it will pass through the eye of the needle. Similarly, all these desires you have to give up. How we can give that up? That is called austerity. That is called spiritual practice. When you talk about the spiritual practice, what is that spiritual practice? Again and again, bringing back the mind to God. Mind is scattering, going away. Sometimes some people, they come and they ask, Swamiji, whenever we are trying to meditate, my mind goes this place, that place. I told, that is very common. And not only you, each and every one experiences that. It's so very common. But what we can do, the same question was asked by our Arjuna to Sri Krishna. How I can control my mind? And that is the only answer the Lord Krishna gave in the Bhagavad Gita. And all the gurus, they also give the same answer. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihate. Abhyasa, continuously practice, practice, practice and practice. Every day you have to practice. You know, I met a very good writer, very famous writer. And I told, how come that you can write? And he was a big officer. And naturally he was so busy. At the same time writing. He told Swamiji, it is sacrifice. I go to bed at about 9 o'clock. Whether our relatives are coming, friends are coming, whatever happened. I always go to bed at 9 and get up at 2:33. Then I fresh myself and go and sit on the writing table. And from 3 to 5, 2 hours, I will be there. As you people go to temple and meditate, I go and sit in the writing table, and I never do anything except writing on that particular table. So whatever the subject I am trying to develop, all those books and references are there, pen and the notebook, everything is open. Every day morning I go, I sit. If I can write, I write. If the thought is not coming, I still sit over there. After 2 hours, I get up. Every day I do that. Then the mind has understood that this is the time I should not go here and there. I have to concentrate, I have to find out some, and these writings are coming up. And that is not the only that, one of our Swamiji was also a great writer, Swami Prabhanandaji. He was the vice president of the order. I told him, Swamiji, after this responsibility, how come you're writing so many articles, so many books? When you get time? He told, no, only 2 hours. Out of 24 hours, only 2 hours dedicated for that. I have seen Gambhiranandaji. After Swami Vivekananda, his books are major in the Ramakrishna organization. He translated almost all the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and what not. His best book, the biography of Ma Sharadamani Devi by Swami Ishatmananda. So, and he only used to write in the noon time, as we could know, from 2 to 4. That was his time. He used to, after he will finish the food, immediately after at 12:30, he will go to bed, take 1 hour rest, get up 2 o'clock. And that too, at the end of his life, we met, he couldn't see properly. So he had to dictate that there will be one brahmachari reading from the book, and immediately he will transcribe that or translate that, or on the basis of that, give the dictation. And all Upanishads. So he used to hear and dictate. He used to hear and dictate. By that way, he translated almost all the books. So how it is possible? Mind, very strong mind. So anyone successful in any field, the two things are necessary, tapasya and love for that particular subject. So those who are trying to realize the Brahman, they should have a clear idea about the Brahman. What is this Brahman? And then love to realize that. I am going to realize Brahman. Today morning, we were chanting the Shankaracharya's Nirvana Shatakam. Shata means 6. The 6 stanzas on the Nirvana. And he goes on telling, Mano buddhiham kara chittani naham, etc. Goes on like that. And the last one, the 6th, they say, I am that Anand, the bliss. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not. And that is the practice of the Jnanamargis. Some people, they always say, I follow the Jnanamarg. But if you are following the Jnanamarg, then you have to give up all other responsibilities, everything. If you are sincere to practice that, just for the knowledge it is okay, no problem. Hearing the lectures or reading books, that's okay. But when you are practicing spirituality, if you follow the path of knowledge, you must be a recluse. You must be a sannyasi. You must give up all other responsibilities. Then only you are a true practitioner. Otherwise, it's a hypocritic way. You say something and do something. That is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, in the present day world, it is Naradiya Bhakti. The Bhakti coupled with knowledge and action. Devotion mixed with knowledge and action. That is called Naradiya Bhakti. And this Naradiya Bhakti, suggested by Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, is the perfect path for the present day world people. We are studying the Vedanta in the Upanishad only to know what is Brahman. But to reach to Brahman, to realize Brahman, to practice that, we have to follow the path instructed by, indicated by Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. What that is? Knowledge first. What is that knowledge? I am going to realize God. What is that God? I am going to construct a temple for God. I am going to offer food to God. But what is God? If I don't know, then I become a narrow-minded sectarian. Oh, God is only this and nobody else. And that creates not only problem for you, for the society also. The moment the people, they narrowed their view and say, this is the only God, they can always say, this is my God. And I like to realize God in this way. My God is Krishna, no problem. My God is Rama, no problem. My God, Jesus, no problem. But when they say only God, and not only that, they are so aggressive, they say, you too also follow. You should, you must. Otherwise, I am going to beat you. That is the problem with the religion. Because we don't understand. Religion is the God which is all pervasive, everywhere, and it is consciousness. It can never have a body, a name, or a form. It is consciousness everywhere. It works through its wishes. There is no light. And there was a command, let there be light. Light came. That is there in our Christianity. It's good. Of course, that is like that. But at the same time, it is not only the Jesus of the Christianity. The same thing has been done, idea came in the Hinduism also. Because in Hinduism we find the Jagannatha, the God is not having the hands, not having the legs, not having the eyelids even, two big eyes. Why? The God is everywhere. He doesn't need any legs to reach. Why no hands? Because he's working through wishes. He doesn't need any hands. But he is the Shakshi. Whatever I have instructed, given the advices, are people following that? So he is constantly observing the good karma. Okay, you come to this side. Bad, go to that side. And what will happen? Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. The chakra again and again and again. But the problem is whenever we get a little happiness, we become so happy like the children. The moment you give a candy, they are so happy. And they forget other things. We also, whenever we get some appreciation, some medals, and something, acknowledgements, we are so happy in the world. And we think that this is, and then again we try, again we fail. Again we suffer, but we take something else. So the Guru comes and it says, no, you have to follow these. Already there. It is already that this is the thing that we have to understand. Now it goes, the Upanishad teaches only Brahma Vidya. Upanishad never says anything else. So what is Veda? This is Upanishad. Veda, it also speaks of many other things. But the true Veda, Veda means knowledge. V-E-D-A, Veda means knowledge. And what is the knowledge? Knowledge of the Brahman. And what is that Brahman? All-pervasive consciousness. So that is called the Veda. But Brahma-jnana, the knowledge of Brahman, is not an object. Object means that which we can touch, we can smell, we can taste, we can see. No, you cannot do that. All the 5 organs that we are having, through which we always examine, that is not there. You can never ever taste Brahman, touch Brahman, see Brahman, smell Brahman. No, you cannot. So obviously, how we will realize Brahman? It says that you have to have the complete faith on the words of the Upanishad, words of the Rishi, words of the Guru, those who have already realized it. On the basis of that, you have to have your journey. So that is why it's so challenging. When you start the journey, you are going against your own mind. Your mind, which wants the name, fame, happiness, wealth, other enjoyments, you are stopping that. No, 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 no. So you have to fight with your own mind, own thoughts. So that is why it's so difficult, so difficult. Now, sometimes some people who are completing their PhDs, at the end almost, they all become frustrated. Sometimes the teachers, the guides are not good, that frustration, and sometimes they say it is too much. Enough is enough. Suppose I am not becoming this, what is there? So like that, the students, they will be writing to me or sometimes they call. I always say, look at that back. So many years you have already passed. And every time you were successful. And now you are just knocking the door to open. Don't stop. The final, you just go. And then what happened? After that, they are free. Now there's a PhD, there's a doctorate and all that, the happiness comes. But in this life, there is nothing. You have nothing actually but faith. You are reading the Upanishads and say that Brahman is there, you know that there is Brahman. And the Brahman, Jnana, the knowledge, you can achieve. And the life is also there, like the Jabala, Satyakama. He was not knowing his tradition. His father died very young. His mother could not understand who was his teacher. The Gotra that the Hindus they follow is nothing but the tradition of the teacher. So that Gotra was not there. See, he went and told, I don't have any other teacher but my mother. And my mother is Jabala. So he became famous as Jabala Satyakama. And the Satyakama, he was always truthful. He realized Brahman. He followed the path that traditionally they always do. Now he wanted his disciple also, the Upakoshala. First humiliation, no acceptance, no recognition, how you react. The same thing we find that the young man went to the Janaka, and when they reported Janaka that he has come to learn Brahmajnana from you, Janaka said, okay, so many people are coming, let him wait over there. 3 days and 3 nights. And as the king himself didn't pay any attention, so naturally others didn't do anything. Or rather, that young man, he was not properly dressed, no dress at all. And he was not taking care of his body, the hair and the nails. It was not good at all. So people, when he was noticed that he is sitting by the side of the door of the palace, so they were joking and then they are criticizing. 3 days and 3 nights are over, no food, no drinking, and no welcoming. After the 3 days, Janaka himself came, the king himself, with all his people, with gorgeous of all things. And he was taken, he was given the bath and then good honor, good food. But Janaka noticed, this young man, he is as it is. He was the Shukadeva, the great Shuka. That Shukadeva, the son of the Vedavyasa. So this Shukadeva, when they were insulting him, he was same. When they were praising him, honoring him, he was the same. Janaka told, you have already realized Brahman. You need not to learn Brahmajnana. Why? The Samadrishti. I don't want anything in this world because I am contented. I am so happy. So if you give me honor, it is okay. If you don't give, it is okay. So that contentment comes when the conviction comes. So study and follow the path of the Brahmajnana. So they go in the chapter 4, section 15, we find Guru Satyakama instructing his disciple Upakoshala. Now, we have already studied that the fires they were teaching Upakoshala, you know that so that way he was, why they were telling like that? They could say, as a Shankaracharya, at the very modern time we can say, the millions of scriptures, what they have said, I will tell you in a half a sloka, not even complete sloka. And what is that? Brahma Satyam, Jagad Mithya. That's all. But here we find that all these three, they were telling, you know this, the water, and that is Brahman. That fire, that is Brahman. Those trees, that is Brahman. Why you are giving the instruction in that way, because they're slowly developing his mind. This is the first time he is hearing Brahman. Why? Because from that all things are coming. The Brahman, always the indications, whatever the names they said, indication is that is the main goal, main thing from which everything has come. It's supporting so many other things. One supporting many other things. From one, many others have come. So that is the Brahman. So that way they instructed. Now, so oneness. Is one, then you know everything. The realization of the oneness, that is the beauty. Now, he is mentioning, Ya esho akshini purusho drishyata, esha atmeti. Ya, this person that is seen in the eye. That this person that we see in the eye, or through the eye, we see so many persons, so many beings. That is Atmeti. Or, I am seeing through the eye, but does the eye truly see? Or, there is something which is there for which we can see. After the death, eyes are there, but we cannot see. Rather, sometimes some people, they donate their eyes after the death. And they will come and take the retina and all that. How it is possible then? What was there behind this particular machine, the eye, that we could see? Consciousness. So it's mentioning in this way, Ya esha akshini purusho. Sorry. Purusha means the pure avastita yasa purusha. Inside, residing inside, called purusha. The purusha, the word means the male, but it is not the male. Sometimes the Westerners, those who don't understand the Sanskrit or Indian languages, they misunderstand. And sometimes Indian people also, they think, see, this is Purusha, only Purusha should be. Nothing like that. It is nothing with the male or female. That which was residing inside. Who was residing inside? The consciousness. If the consciousness was not there, it was nothing. When the consciousness goes away, our whole body becomes a dead body. It is of no use then. So that is mentioning, Ya esha akshini purusho. That particular thing which was there inside the eye, drishyata, and you were observing, esha atmeti. That is called Atman, and tad amritam abhayam etat brahmeti. So this is the Upanishadic teaching. Those who are interested to read Upanishad, these are the small, the golds. When you are going on digging there somewhere, suddenly you find a lump of gold. It's like this. They go on talking with so many things, suddenly they will say, that which is there behind your eye, which was observing, and that is called Atma, and that Atman is Amritam. It is deathless. And Abhayam is fearless. And that is Brahman. So Brahmajnana, how the Brahmajnana comes? Giving the indication. It goes to the Atman, but not directly, giving an indication. There is something through which you can see, hear, and function. All functions. That is the consciousness. But if you talk about the consciousness, we don't have any idea about consciousness. And mostly the Western, they think the mind is the conscious. But the Indian philosophy says, no, mind cannot be conscious because mind is changing. Anything changes cannot be constant and cannot be consciousness. The mind is also changing. It's thoughts only. It's changing constantly. So behind the mind there must be something which is conscious, and mind is also nothing but a function of that. So this way when he says, Tad Amritam Avayam Brahmeti. Why Amrita? Because that is the final joy. Beyond that, there is nothing. So Amrita. Recently there will be the great, they always say in India, the greatest function in the world, that is Kumbh Mela. The people will be going to the Kumbh Mela and all that. Why? Amrita. What is that Amrita? If you go and take a dip, then you will get that eternity. It's a belief, faith. But whether you take a dip or not, if your mind understands that knowledge, then you get the same thing. What is the Amrita? Understanding that this body and all the parts of this body, including the mind, is nothing but jada. Behind that, there is something which is Chaitanya, the consciousness. And that consciousness is deathless. Consciousness cannot die. It never can. It is everywhere, always. Now the bulb is burning, light is there. It is not, we say the electricity is dead. We say bulb is not functioning. The body, it is functioning. I am talking, I am cognizing, everything is going on. But it is not the body actually. It is the consciousness behind it. And that AI nowadays, I don't know how they work. Anything you give, immediately within a second they are giving the whole idea. Where from it comes and who is doing it. I really salute those brains who are developing it. My God, any idea you give, immediately you will give some idea, writing. So obviously there is some consciousness which is working in that way. Is the machine that, the AI, that machine? No. Is the technique system? No. A person behind that who developed that. So the students are now, they are studying the AI and this artificial intelligence, they are learning on that, and that way they are developing. We don't know them. We know the machine. We know that particularly you have to have this connection and it works. We do not know. But I do not know that all that I am doing and everyone is doing, behind that there is a consciousness. And what is Brahmajnana? Knowledge of that consciousness. That's all. Consciousness and nothing else. So what this teaching, the Upanishad is teaching us, the Esha Akshini Purusha Drishyata, Esha Atmeti. That particular thing which helped you to see through your eyes, that consciousness, that is the Atman, that is the self. Why they mention the self? Because it is working individually and at the same time collectively. When it is individual, it is Atma. When it is collective, it is Brahman. So it says that Tad Amritam Avayam Etad Brahmeti. And here it is deathless, fearless, and this is Brahman. Brahman is deathless. Why? There's no change. There's eternal. Death means what? Change only. Death is nothing but a change. Now, in our body, when you become a very young little boy, everybody loves. Same body, when it becomes very old and it becomes like a child, the child is also making mistake and it is also sometimes, it doesn't never care for the bathroom, here, there, everywhere, and the mothers are immediately taking them and changing. But when the old man does that, when the old person, then we have become, hey, what is this? Why? Because the old age, we don't expect anything from him. The young age, we are expecting that it will grow and it will be a beautiful and nice person. Our expectation, that's why we are loving that. Crawling, sometimes the old people, they also crawl on the floor because they cannot stand. But we don't like that. Oh, this old man, why he is doing like this? It is better for him to die. And like this, you will be thinking. But what about the child? He does so much of mistakes. We don't think anyway, oh, it's okay for the children they are doing. The old person doing, we don't accept it. Why? Because no expectation from the old man, it is end. Why? Because the young person will grow up, will become somebody someday, so the expectation. So this is the reason when the Atman we are talking about, no changes, no childhood, no old age, no young, nothing that. So that is called, it is completely deathless. It is constant, instantly it will be there. And why fearless? Because nothing to lose or gain. We are afraid. Why? That they, in the yoga and shema, that you desire but not getting, I will help you to achieve those. And shema, I will protect those things when you are having those. There's sometimes what happened, before getting a job, we are so worried. Though, shall I get, because when the people they go to for the interview, am I going to lose the job? Am I going to lose the job? Always fear. Yoga, after getting, for having, fear. Even after getting, fear of losing. So what is fear? What is fear? Two. One is to get, but if you have that knowledge of Brahman, no fear at all. So why should we practice Brahma Jnana? So that is this, they say, before having that fear, after having that fear, that is protected. Brahman or the self is always present, and hence tension to achieve, of apprehension of losing cannot be there. The result, always happiness, amritatvam. What is amritatva? Happiness. We use the word amrita, and there is always a story. The Hindus, they will give an idea. Immediately they will fabricate a story. And we always go with the story and mix up the whole thing with the story and forgetting the actual thing. What is Amrita? And they had they were churning the ocean, and the whole thing came up as if it's a liquid something. Then the Lord Vishnu, he was distributing it among the good people, the devas, and avoiding the bad people, the daityas, the rakshasas. And all the stories goes on. Nothing like that. And not that if the devas are eating and they are permanent. You know, the devas are also changing. All the devas, when they do the good work, they become a deva, and after the good work is over, they're also changed. Another person will be the deva, the same job. That they're also changing constantly. So obviously, what is Amrit? This is necessary to know. Otherwise, if we go only with the idea, and we can never develop the spirituality. That's why all people, millions, they will go and they will take it deep, and this, doing that. So many things they will do. I also once went, and it is really a wonderful experience. But then you should grow. And you should know it is not going and taking a deep over there, but understanding the truth. So it says in this way, this is Amritam. Then what happened? Suppose there is an Amrita. But what is that to me? A Brahmajnani He has realized the Brahman is okay, but what happens after the realization, that man himself, that person himself becomes the source of happiness. It says, etad sham yama iti achakshate. Those who have realized the Brahman, they use the word samshwadvama, the source of happiness, source of joy, source of anything good. That is called sadhu. Who is the sadhu? Why we are attracted for the sadhus? Because everything good is there. If the good is not there, people won't go there. Good is there. Of course, sometimes what happens, people, they go expecting some miracles. So that's why they go. I was hearing sometimes some of the different gurus, they changes, and one young man, nice looking, and the lady was crying that in her in-laws' house she was badly treated and all that, expecting the guru will solve the problem, etc., through spiritual power. That is natural. They think in that way. That is also, it is possible. But that is not the ultimate religion. Ultimate religion is, I don't have any problem at all, because I am completely source of happiness. That it says, etat shamshwadvama iti achakshate. It is known as the source of all good. Sarvani bhamani enam abhisamyayanti ya enam veda. He who has realized this. Now the utilitarians, they will always ask, I am going to practice this austerity. Well, after that, what I am going to get? Suppose I am studying medicine, I am becoming doctor. After that, I am working as a doctor, I am earning money, and in the society, I am comfortable, I am also respected. So utilitarian theory is that, what I am going to get? Of course, when I am practicing the religion all through my life, what I am going to get? Sometimes people think, after the death, I will go to heaven. It's a good life again. A good idea, but no certainty. And how long I will be in heaven, that is also not there. It's a very subtle calculation. And that is a little problem. But if you forget those things and think that I am going to be the source of that is called Brahmajnana. The source of happiness. Why should I have to be a part of it? I'll be the source. Then the question. They say, Sarvani Bhamani. All happiness come together in him who has known Brahman. So what is the ultimate result of Brahmajnana? You become the source of happiness. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. And that is the reason the Brahmavid, who has known the source, he has become the Brahman himself, herself. And that is the source of happiness. Now, naturally, it is clear announcement of the result of the Brahmajnana. What will happen after realization of Brahman? Bliss eternal. How? Because no fear of anything, losing or death is there. What is the happiness? When you are the master, then there's no problem. As long as you are, suppose a king's son is very powerful, comparing with others, but even then he has to go and take permission to his father. Father, shall I go over there? This is the problem. You are not independent. As long as you are not becoming the king, you have to be under somebody. So obviously, people always you will find in everywhere, they like to become that one who is taking the decision and who is not depending on anyone's decisions. But in this world, in this society, it cannot be. Even if you are the President of America, there are some people, If you say something, you try to do something, they'll say, hey, wait, we have to vote, we'll discuss, we'll finally say yes, then only it will be yes. No, then it is no. So you are limited. But when the Brahma Jnana comes, unlimited. There is no one in this world above or below the sun that will control you. That is the tremendous joy, tremendous freedom, tremendous strength. Everything you can do. But at the same time, the responsibility. Tarati shoka, tarati moha. Is not all, is go beyond the suffering. Shoka is suffering. No suffering at all. That is, why should we try to realize Brahman? This question that the utilitarians they are asking. Then it says, because I am going to go beyond shoka. That is what Buddha said. This world is full of misery, full of suffering. Dukkham, dukkham, sarvam dukkham. He realized that. Every moment, as a child, you are suffering. As an old man, you are suffering. Young man, also suffering. Different type of sufferings. Everywhere. So he says, you can go beyond this. The tarati shoka, tarati moha, delusion. What is the delusion? False knowledge. We always think that if I become that, I will be very happy. I have seen people here, they have come to America. Can you imagine? From the third world, we are coming to a first world country, and they are elderly people. They came, they studied, they settled, they became successful. Now they have lost their brain. Constantly writing to me, I told, how can I help you? So this suffering, they were thinking if I can, millions they're dreaming, if we can go to America, oh, I'll be successful. I'll be happy. They come, they struggle, they settle. But where is the happiness? After that, after getting everything, if you go and stand before a mirror and ask yourself, have I achieved everything that I dreamt? What the mirror will give the answer. So you have to, that story, you know that English story? Where the mirror is talking to you, what will be the answer? Only one path. Know thyself. Atmanam viddhi. Atmanam viddhi. Know thyself. And go beyond shoka. This tarati shoka. Tarati moha. No delusion. Oh, if I do this, I will get this. If I do that, I will get no delusion. A complete satisfaction. I know that I have achieved, I have reached. And what remain then, when you go beyond the suffering, go beyond the delusion, what remain? They say it is bliss, eternal. The prerequisite of the bliss is what? Desirelessness. And friends, today is the last class of this 2024. And as you know, as a tradition, January and February of this ashrama will be closed. Only the lectures won't be there, classes won't be there, everything will be open. The shrine will be open, regular morning, evening prayer will be there, bookstore is open, guest house is open, everything will be open in all the three places. Ganges retreat, Home of Harmony, and here also the same. Only the classes will be suspended because you can see that how the weather and how the devotees will be able to come. And mostly the devotees, they are from India. This is the time they all go to India. I'm also planning. So naturally it goes in this way. So you can please come, and desirelessness. If we can become free from desire, well, these we have realized. Then what happens to the society? I'll conclude with this. And what happens to the society? Suppose one person has realized Brahman. Okay, it is for him or her. But what about the society? How the society is going to be benefited by that? If an engineer, if a doctor, a scientist, society is benefited. But what about the religious person? Then it says, Esha u eva bhamani. Bhamani means he is the repository, he becomes repository of everything good. The Brahmagyani again become the carrier of bliss. How the society is getting benefit? That person who has realized Brahman has become the source of happiness. He become the carrier of bliss to the society. And Eshahi Sarvani Bhamani Nayati, and he takes that, carries that house to house, person to person, to everywhere. He carries that. That is called in simple language Sadhu Sangha, the holy company. That is the holy company. A holy man, why we go to the holy places? Because so many people, they are going to become holy. But there are holy people who have made that particular place holy. There are people, through their sadhanas, through their life, through their presence, that makes the completely change that place as a holy. And it says, that it goes on in saying in this way, Satsangatte. Satsanga means holy company. Satsangatve nishangatva. When you are in the company of a holy person, what happened? You become nishanga. The company less. People are afraid, oh my God, there will be no friend, no relative, then how am I going to survive? Not like that. You are going to understand that the thought of this world is unnecessary. So you will give up all those thoughts related to the world because it is temporary. That by that way, you are becoming free from that. Nishangatva. Nishangatve nirmohatva. Moha means delusion. The moment you can understand that, then there is no desire. There is no foolishness. Oh, if I achieve this, I will be happy. If I go, nothing. Actually, nothing happens. Nirmohatve nirmala tattvam. So when you are completely free from the delusion, then a real decision comes. Nirmala tattva. Tattva means that real thing, that you become clear about that. Nirmala tattve jivana mukti. And when you are clear about that, you are free from the bondage of life. Nirmala tattve jivana mukti. You are free while living. You are enjoying everything, but at the same time, you are not there. The one person has seen how they have decorated in the city, Chicago, with the lights. And if you see that, you'll be so much attracted. Oh my God, so beautiful. I have not seen it. But once you see it, you will understand it is nothing actually. Some of the tiny bulbs they have decorated in one place, and if you go and stand before it and take a photo, it looks like you are in a heaven, but that much. After that, there is all darkness. Nothing is there. Temporary lights are there because in the snow, because of this gloomy weather. To encourage the people, they always do like this, and this is really good. From the society side, the government side, they're always trying to do that. But don't think if you are not going over there, you are missing some time. It's all this. If you don't go to Paris and don't see that the one thing is tilting, oh, my life, I have not, nothing is there. If you go, you see nothing. And you have to have this. Each and everything, if you observe, the beautiful face, the beautiful body, see after 30 years, 40 years, nothing is there. All things goes away. And one person is always waiting for you. That is the Mrityu. Mrityu is constantly waiting. Come on, is it enough? And then hold your hand and take you. The Mrityu is there, that is the truth. Before that, if you can make yourself free from desire, even the Mrityu will come and fold hands. And you'll say, Honorable Sir, I am blessed seeing you. And that is the goal of Brahma-jnana. Thank you, friends. Thank you for coming. And there's a prasad is there. So please have some prasad. Meet you again on this Upanishad class in the March. But before that, we have a 1st January at about 2:45 to 3:30, a 45 minutes, 1 hour program will be there, remembering that famous utterance of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who began saying, human being must realize God. Then at the end of his life, on the 1st January 1886, he said, let you all be aware about your consciousness. Now that is the ultimate. Consciousness means Brahma-jnana. He said, you should be Brahma-jnani. Let you get that blessings. So 1st January at about 3:08, that time he gave that blessings, remembering that we will come over here, we will read that particular portion and remember that, have some bhajans, and exactly at that time there will be konshal, and then we will meditate for 10 minutes, praying to God, particularly remembering God. And after that, again a little bhajan and pushpanjali, we will come, and that little tea and snacks, these things will be there, as because Thakur, Ma, they loved Moody, so the Moody prasad will be there for all of you to remember. So please come on 1st January. You can, I think it is already there, so you can go and register. Registration is free only to head count, so it becomes easy for us. And next 12th January, we will organize Swami Vivekananda's Tithi Puja. That will be as usual from 10:30 to 12:30. So please come, 12th January, it is a Sunday. So it will be easy for you to come. Let us say Shanti. Any question? Let us say Shanti and we conclude. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om